watching CBC News Network. I'm Christine Birak. Russia's military action in Ukraine is rattling nerves right around the world. Here at home, the Harper government is strongly condemning Russia's latest moves. The Prime Minister is urging President Vladimir Putin to withdraw his troops immediately. And Foreign Affairs is advising against travel to the Crimean Peninsula, saying Canadians there should consider leaving, quote, while it's safe to do so. In Russia, Putin's decision to put heavy military pressure on Ukraine is a popular move. Most people there accept his rationale. They think Russian interests and ethnic Russians in Ukraine should be protected. A large pro-Putin crowd was out in the streets of Moscow today cheering the president on. They approve of his push to make Russia an invincible superpower again, like it was in the days of the Soviet Union. But there were anti-Putin demonstrations today, too, in St. Petersburg and in Moscow. And arrests were made. Many of these people believe Putin is violating international law with his military incursion into Ukrainian territory. Well, Alexander Irofeev participated in the protests, and he joins us now from Moscow by Skype. Alexander, thanks for being with us. Why did you decide to join the anti-war demonstrations today?
Hello, Christine. Basically because I strongly against the war that might be waged between Russia and Ukraine in case it all goes wrong. And there were a lot of people who share this view. Basically, we all think that it's a violation of international law.
Alexander, we're hearing some of the protesters have been arrested, at least 40 people. Describe what happened when the police showed up.
All right, so basically it's not 40 people, it's 361 persons detained in Moscow alone. And in St. Petersburg, some dozens of people as well. And from what I've been reading right now on the Twitter, 72 people left in police departments overnight. They are being detained and being taken to court tomorrow morning. So police showed up and they started just detaining all people without any warnings, without anything, just took them and put in the van. That's it.
Wow. So indiscriminately, were you afraid that you might be arrested?
Yes. So you just stay on the street and say you don't even need to say anything. Basically, they just arrest you because you are against the war. That's it.
Alexander, I understand that you have family living in Crimea, and you spoke with them today. How are they feeling about the presence of Russian soldiers on the Crimean Peninsula?
Basically, yes, I have relatives, not so close relatives, but they are living not so close to the place there all the actions going on. But I've spoken to them, and they say they are deeply concerned about it. They don't want any war whatsoever.
Alexander, how do you think this crisis should be resolved?
Basically, I don't want any escalation of any in terms of military actions. I would like it to be resolved by diplomacy only. I think it should be dealt with by UN, United Nations, and I think that there is still a lot of room for diplomacy left in that crisis.
And do you think that Canada, countries like Canada or the US, should play a role in that dialogue?
Certainly, yes. I've been reading that already. Canada has shown strong condemnation and suspended the preparation to the G8 summit. So it's some kind of a pressure. It's a signal to Putin to stop pushing forward with his actions. And I think it's a good thing to do. And without actually escalating it in terms of military actions, it gives a signal to Putin and his regime to stop doing this.
Alexander, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. We really appreciate it. That's Alexander Irofeev. He took part in anti-war protests in Russia, and he was speaking to us from Moscow.